Hi guys, it's May 8th and I'm doing my second journal entry. Today in class we talked about APA essay style. I like this essay format because it's simple and I've used it a few times. Not from a lot of my essays, usually I use MLA, but I like APA and I find the hardest part about it is citing resources. I don't really like citing resources. I find that the most difficult part of an essay, actually. Next in class, we watched The Wiz. I didn't thoroughly enjoy this musical because it wasn't really my style. I like more classical music and original music, not really funk and all that hip-hop kind of style. If I had to pick between The Wiz and The Wizard of Oz, I would definitely choose The Wizard of Oz because it's more unique and it's a happier musical, and I just like the music better and the songs better in that play. Although I did like how much dance there was in The Wiz, I like the dance combinations in it, but because they're more complex than The Wizard of Oz, but I would definitely choose The Wizard of Oz as my favorite out of the two. And then we looked at the differences of The Wiz and The Wizard of Oz, and I wrote down a few points here. The Wiz is urban compared to The Wizard of Oz, which is rural. The Wiz is colder. It's more like funk, R&B, soul, African American, jazz, gospel, disco kind of music. There's more dancing content in The Wiz. Costumes are more contemporary, and in Wizard of Oz they are more simple and plain, and in The Wiz they are more flamboyant, colorful, out there, kind of in your face. More mature The Wiz is more mature musical than The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is more children fantasy. I say this because of the sexy dancers and the pink outfits and how they drugged the Dorothy and the lion. You wouldn't see that in The Wizard of Oz because they were just tired in The Wizard of Oz, but in The Wiz they drugged them with sexy drugs. And the race of the cast in The Wiz was different than the race of the cast in The Wizard of Oz. In The Wiz they casted mainly African Americans, so that made it more cultural, I'd say. And also I'd say The Wiz was more realistic because it's more like real life, which I said before Wizard of Oz is more fantasy. And they used actual small people for the Munchkins, which is different than The Wiz because they didn't have any of that in it. They focused on the social political in The Wiz and the social boundaries in The Wiz. In The Wiz there was also more slang language, and in The Wizard of Oz I'd say it was more proper, more English, right English. And The Wiz was more, the setting in The Wiz was more modern and more like real life, not as much special effects. Also the special effects in The Wiz was not as great as The Wizard of Oz. And just one second. Okay, and the narrative of The Wiz is more structured story. As I said, The Wizard of Oz is more make-believe, more fantasy.